Yeah, I know. But hey guys, it's your girl Victoria back to you with another review for Caught in the Act Unfaithful season 3, episode 14 called "I'm an Icon in the Ballroom Scene." I know. We just get okay. We're just gonna get into it, okay? Ah, we get introduced to Alexis, okay? So she's in a relationship with a homeboy named Trenton. They've been together for 2.5 years. Everything was going smooth, all handy dandy, all that stuff. But of course, things go awry. So first start off with him being, start getting closer to a younger woman named Kim, and that leads to Alexis starting to feel like a sugar mama because Alexis has she's more established than Trenton, and starting to spend more money on him and whatnot. Girl, we on the same accord because listen, when you like somebody, and I'm not gonna say money is an issue per se, but it's like, listen, money comes and go. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want it, I'm gonna get what I want. So it's like if I like you, I'm talking to you, I'm with you. Like, I mean, not even in a relationship wise, but I just feel like with people in general wise, like, if we cool, you my dog and stuff. Like, if you don't got it, I'm not gonna eat a good steak dinner, and then you just gonna be sitting there eating chips and the free chips and salsa at a restaurant. Okay, that's just not how it works. So no, I'm like, yo, get whatever. So I get it, I do. But when it's coming to the point you paying for rent, when you paying for his rent and stuff, then I'm just kind of like, wait, hold on, pump the brakes, okay? Because I'm just, I could pay for some of your stuff. You want a pair of shoes or some, food, especially food. Food is the number one thing I would never, question about. Unless you asking for like prime rib or wagyu steak every night, then I'm just like, you're gonna have to. It's a no go. But you know, whenever it comes to food, I don't ever want to see nobody hungry, especially people like we cool. Like, if I'm not hungry, you should not be hungry. Okay, especially if we're talking whatever. But when it comes to rent, Alexis, I know that's your man, you know, but no man, I'm not paying for nobody's rent. That's whose rent I would pay for, other than my own, my kids. I mean, I don't got none, so I ain't paying nobody's rent. So she getting kind of nervous. She don't know if she's just being insecure and stuff. She hopes that's what it is. Because they talking about moving in together and starting a family, and I'm just like, you talking about moving in together? I mean, if you're already paying for his rent, I mean, he might as well just move in with you right now. I, does he come over to your house? Like, if he coming over to your house sleeping over and stuff, there should be no need for you to be paying his rent. Just have him move in. He should already been moving in at this point if you paying his rent. I'm just saying, but uh, whatchamacallit, Tammy gonna take on the case, so we get to surveillance, investigation, PI, whatever. Okay. Jennifer's the PI for this case. We get to day one. Trenton goes to the dance studio for rehearsal for something, and he walks out after dance rehearsal with some female, gives her, walks her to the car, be a nice gentleman, you know what I'm saying? Then he gives her a nice big long juicy ass hug. Then he goes home. Cool night, excuse me. I mean, me personally, I'll just be like, damn, that's a long ass hug, and that's not. I figure if you've been with somebody 2.5 years, you gonna know who their family is, because I'm gonna be like, that ain't no sister, that ain't no mama, nothing. So who is this? But I mean, I'm pretty sure she knows who it is. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't get to day two, and Trenton goes to somebody's house. He got some little bag of a change of clothes, and then I guess the door to the backyard is open. So then we see Trenton and homegirl from last night, Kim, working out in the backyard, but they working out kind of sexually. You know what I'm saying? Like, she trying to get into position, a downward dog or whatever. He behind her, putting his hands down her lower back. So like, we know how it works. Like, we're not new to this, okay? So So afterwards they go back in the house, I guess, to take shower, change, whatever the case may be. Then they leave the house. They go to what the hell they go to? IV therapy office. Really? Okay. So they go to the IV therapy office to get IVs, and they talk and whatnot. End up, kissing. Not even really kissing. They was making out, tongue, lips, everything. And then afterwards, They go back to the house, and Trent spends the night. God only knows what done happened in that house. Next morning, day three, they coming out the house, making out and whatnot. They end up going to a lash bar, and they continue talking, about their relationship and kids and whatnot. So it's like they in a full blown relationship. And then, later on that night, they go to, I don't know if it was a ballroom per se, but they go to something where I guess Kim had to perform. After she performed, her and old boy Trenton, they go out and, to the stairwell or whatever of the building, making out and whatnot. And, you see Kim going on her knees, and you already know what about happened in the stairwell. So, Trent got a release, at the stairwell with, homegirl, thanks to Kim thing. So after that, we have Alexis going to watch the footage with Tammy and Ken. Of course, Alexis, gets pissed off, walks out, and, Tammy and Ken go after her, bring her back inside. She don't want to talk. Which I can understand, she and her feelings, she don't want to talk. She wants to get straight to the takedown. But, since she's catching Tammy and Ken off guard, it's not really a takedown, it's really a team up, because Trenton and Kim ain't together, so they was able to get access to Kim first. She's at her salon or whatever, or the salon that she works at. Before they could even go there, I guess Alexis said she had to go home and change. So she went home and changed into her fighting clothes, pretty much. It was cute still, but it was her fighting clothes. And they pull up to Kim at the hair salon. Alexis goes in saying, she need to talk to her. Kim was like, okay, well, we can't talk in here. We could go outside or whatever. So since she was giving her a little bit of pushback, Lexus already still hot, because this is the same day she even seen the footage of Kim and Trenton. So Alexis goes straight for the jugular, goes straight in for the punch. They don't show us that, because people be too sensitive now. We can't see stuff. Remember back in the day for reality shows where they used to like show us. They don't show us that no more. So we didn't get to see nothing. They go straight to commercial. For dramatic effect, comes back from commercial. And, they kind of going back and forth. So, okay, Tammy and Ken immediately try to run in, break everything apart. Tammy's trying to talk to Kim. Alexis keep trying to, lunge at Kim or whatnot. So, Tammy goes outside to talk to Kim. And, Kim was like, well, they've been together for over a year and whatnot. And Trent told Kim that Alexis was his mom. And I'm looking at, when I seen Trent, I'm like, yeah, homeboy looks young. Per Alexis, she only like a couple years older than Trenton. I'm just like, looks can be deceiving, so maybe you are, but if I were to go based off looks, I would never think you only a few years apart. It seems like more than a few years apart, but we're gonna take your word for it, Alexis. So anyway, we have Tammy bringing Kim and Alexis together to talk, and Alexis tells Kim tells Alexis what she done told Tammy. So pretty much, they kind of end up going back and forth again. And Tammy tells Alexis to go into the van, and then tells Kim to call up Trenton to pull up. So everybody waiting. It takes 3 hours for Trenton to pull up. He pulls up with flowers, goes to, kisses on Kim or whatnot. So Alexis, of course, gets out of the van, confronts them or whatnot. And, goes to commercial for dramatic effect, comes back for commercial for dramatic effect. Okay, whatever. So pretty much, Alexis ended up going back in the van. Kim goes inside. Kim goes inside. Ken goes to talk to Alexis in the van, and then Tammy talks to Trenton. And pretty much Trenton was just like, oh, now she got time for me. Now she got time to do all of this, but, she usually don't have time for me, but Kim be having time for me and stuff like that. And, when Tammy brought up, like, all the things that Alexis does for him financially and stuff, Trenton's just like, well, I never asked for those things, which Alexis did admit that, he never asked for those things. She kind of just throws money at him and whatnot. But, at the end of the day, if he had to choose between Kim and Alexis, he's going with Alexis, because he does love her. Yeah, I'm not saying you don't love her, Tran, but I'm pretty sure you love the money too. If you look at what you're gaining and not gaining from each person, in my personal opinion, both ladies are beautiful. Okay, both ladies are beautiful. Kim, Kim that girl, okay? And Alexis, I'm just like, girl, I feel like you just did a little too much surgically to the back, to the cheeks. You're still beautiful, because the first scene of you with Tammy, with the suit set, I was like, girl, you gorgeous, But then in certain angles, I'm like, girl, why'd you do it? You didn't need to do all this. You didn't need to do all that down there in the back. But okay, but financially wise, Alexis is the better option. Homegirl was paying your rent. You're not going to. Because from what Kim said, he taking care of her, and that's cool and everything. But honestly, niggas don't want to take care of things no more. Because they don't want to, they rather be taken care of. Okay. So that's exactly what Alexis is doing to Trenton. I'm not saying he just with her for the money, but I'm pretty sure the money is a big factor of one of the reasons why he's like, yeah, I'm going with Alexis versus Kim. So, anywho, he trying to talk to Tammy, in the background. At first, Kim and Alexis was going back and forth before Alexis went into the van. But after he's done said that, they pull Alexis from the van to talk to Trenton and Tammy, and then Ken goes to talk with Kim. And, once Trenton tells Alexis how he feels, Alexis says she's done and walks away, goes to the van, said, she's done. And then him and Tammy go to talk with Kim, and he admits that he loves Alexis, he gonna rock with her. So of course Kim hurts, like, oh, okay, so I ain't none of you, I ain't shit, and all that stuff. She don't say that word for it, I'm just paraphrasing. And then everybody goes their separate ways. So you thought that was over? No, because we get a 3-month update. Come to find out, long story short, because Alexis went through, she ain't talked to Kim, whatever, but her and Trent are working things out, and she's gonna try not to throw money at him like she used to. Girl, that's how it starts. Okay, we try not to do that, but then we end up doing that. And once they get back in our good graces, like we're back to. All they got to do is just give you one good dick down, and you just back to looking like a fool. Just be like, what you want from the stove. We can't help ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's not that we're throwing money. Okay, we're not throwing money. Okay, it's not throwing money. Okay, it's just like, I want you to be happy. Okay, I mean, I'm not paying your rent. Like, I ain't paying none of your bills. You're crazy. But as much money as you throw, if you're not paying bills, you might as well just have to pay the bill. But like, only bills I'm paying is my own, So, but she gonna pay his bills eventually. She just gonna have to move in so it can save her from paying his bills, rent at least. But then again, if he living with her and she paying rent, then isn't she still kind of paying his rent? I don't know. But that was the end of the episode. I think that was the end of the season, because there ain't no more other kind of Act Unfaithfuls in my DVR of my 100 of shows I gotta watch and read. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'm here. If you laughed at least once, please subscribe. If you didn't laugh, come back. I can't even say next week. Come back to the next thing I post, and hopefully I can make you laugh so you can subscribe. Dang, I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of apologies to make. This is the first apology. My bad. Life be life, and it's a lot. Anyway, maybe we'll get into that one of these days. I don't know if y'all like, I don't know if y'all like the people y'all watch who do reviews to get into their own personal lives. I really don't. Okay. Anyway, comment down below what you thought about this episode. I'm so sorry. Like, this ain't new to me, but this is new to me, because I'm just like, bro, I gotta get back into my groove. I'm so discombobulated. It's not even funny, even though it's funny, even though I'm laughing. But yeah, I think that's, I don't know. Be easy, breezy, lemon squeeze. I'll see you guys in the next. I don't know. Bye.